Morning, YouTubers. So I got a fun little project for us to do together today. Now, if you watch my previous video related to yard art, it was called Flex Core Flower. Today we're going to weld up a little helper for your yard or your garden, and that's Bob the Snail. I'll show you Bob. There you go. Every garden or yard needs a Bob the Snail to take care of everything around there, like watering the plants and everything. So you can make him as big or as little as you want, but keep in mind the smaller it is, the harder it's going to make. But what we're going to do is take this stainless steel filler rod, and using our little drawing on the paper, we're going to bend it in a manner that we can make one. Now, like I said, the bigger it is, the better. And honestly, the bigger the Bob the Snail for your yard, the better the results. So keep that in mind. So let's start bending. So the first step is you want to find a piece of pipe or tube or something approximately the size that you would like the body to be. So this is actually somehow perfect for the size right there. So we're going to take this wire, and now this is stainless wire. This stuff is pretty difficult to bend. I'm going to warn you. And I'll start out putting it right there on the line. I'm going to clamp with a vice grip this wire to this pipe and then bend the wire around the pipe. If you use thinner wire, it'll be by far easier than what I'm going to do. And there you go, bent it right around there. That's looking pretty good. Bend it a little bit more. You will get some spring back. So we pretty much nailed the size right there. That's looking real good. So now we need to make another bend approximately right there. So what I'm gonna do is mark that so I know where to put it. And I will clamp that up. That's looking real good. All right, so now do the same thing up here. We'll be able to tweak it when it gets closer to being done. For this one, I bent it a little bit off the pipe, and I thought it was going to look good, but you can see we got a little bit of tweaking. So what I'm going to do now is just use my hand there we go. That's better, probably not perfect, but it's better. All right. Let me clamp it to here and get that a little bit tighter. That's close enough. Let me just tweak that a little bit more. That's looking real good. Yep. All right, so now I'm going to take it and I'm going to cut this off. If you got a pair of bolt cutters or anything, I mean, if you're using smaller wire, it'll be a lot easier than this. I'll have to find a pair of bolt cutters and cut that. Or actually, this might work. I just pinched it in there and then worked the rod back and forth. All right. Give this a couple taps here. Has a little bit of a slant forward, and that's fine. And a little bit bigger than what we wanted, but it'll work just fine. We can do it either way. So now we need to make the shell. Easiest to find a piece of pipe that's about that size, which this is sitting on my table. It's a little small, but it may work. Yeah, I think this pipe will work better. So let's clamp our wire on there. This is, I think, 1/8 inch wire. Yeah, it's a little big. Here, let me get our template. It's a little bit big. All right, so I will shorten that up a little bit. And what you can do is clamp it and just twist it a little bit, and that should get you right in the ballpark. A little bit rounder. That's looking real good there. All right, so now I'm going to cut this off. So there's about our ring right there, our shell. That's looking real good. All right, so now we need to make his eyes. And you know what, I think I like it better that way. So for size-wise, we need to, let me get this out of the way. So you need to cut the length, but then a little bit longer so that we can bend it back around. All right, so you got your pieces to your bob all set up, or at least ready to be put together. Now, I'm gonna TIG weld this together because this is pretty thin stainless. If you're using thicker stuff or even normal steel wire, you could MIG this together. You could flux core wire. Your skill level is gonna have to be higher the thinner this is. I mean, TIG is pretty easy to do spot welds on stuff like this, so that's why I'm choosing to do that. So I don't quite remember how this goes together, but we'll try that. There you have it. Whoa. So now we need to put a little stick on them so we can sit upright to watch your plants or your flowers in your garden. Turned out a little bit bigger than our concept, but you know, that's all right. You'll do a better job. There you have it. Thanks for sticking around.